Good evening. Welcome to the School of Struggle. My name is Zar. I will be your host today in replacement of Chris because he is taking a well-deserved week off. Now, our goal is to bring this podcast to you to help better yourself in business, work, and life. Now, your potential in life is limitless, and we all have the opportunity to do something great in our lives. The road to success, however, is never easy, and we understand the struggles it can take to come out on top. We are unlike other podcasts where we only talk about our successes and pump each other's tires up. We talk about the struggles we have gone through and also going through now to get to where we are in life. It's not all rainbows and sunshine. Today we talk about the subject of leadership and how this skill can help propel you in your career and business. I am joined here today by your favourite white guy with a beard, Mark Fator.
Hey.
How are you?
Good.
And we also have a special guest on the podcast tonight. This guest has the most brains out of us all. She is the head of HR for vitamin giant Bioceuticals and also the driving force behind my highly successful hair salon. She is a trusted business and legal advisor to myself and my business partners and plays a significant role in my whole empire. She has made a name for herself for being charismatic, honest, and professional, yet she can be firm and assertive when she needs to be. She has a gift of being able to articulate things in a way where no one else has the ability to. She is a popular keynote speaker at specialized corporate events, and she has accumulated a massive wealth of knowledge from being in an industry, being as an industry thought leader. It is also easy to see why she is an award-winning executive who is trusted by one of the most premium vitamin companies, as she has worked under big names such as Australia Post CEO Christine Holgate and Blackmore's boss Marcus Blackmore. They say behind every great man there is a greater woman. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing my wife, Jade Azmi.
Hi.
Speak up. So, tell our listeners about, what your typical day looks like, because you got a lot on your plate. You run multiple businesses. You lead multiple teams. How does your typical day look like?
I think every day is different for me, but I guess there is a bit of consistency in each day. I follow a very strict routine, and I think in a nutshell, any single day for me starts off by checking in with every single business that I'm running or taking care of, and by just starting the day off and figuring out what I have to do, where I have to be. My calendar's full. Every single day is back to back, and I just need to. I think the biggest thing that I always have when I start off the day in mindset is what do I have to do, and what do I have to prioritize, because my day is always changing by the hour. So the first thing that I'll do is go to the office, where I undertake all of my duties as an executive manager. Check in with my team to make sure that they're doing everything that they're meant to be doing. If they need any support, that that I'm there for them to support them through any typical day. In between all of that, I'm checking in with our other ventures as well. So the hair salon, to make sure that it's running smoothly, making sure that I'm liaising with managers to make sure that there are no huge issues, but just maintaining that strategic level at all times. And then just making sure that I'm being the best leader that I can be for my teams wherever they're situated.
Yeah, so it's a pretty full day for you then, because you've got a lot on.
Yeah, every day's full on. I feel like I don't have a day off, but I wouldn't have it any other way really.
Yeah,
I think
cool.
It's full on, but I love it. I love it that way, and it's fast paced and it's ever changing, and I'm constantly being tested with making sure that I maintain resilience. And I'm in an ever-changing environment, so no matter what business that I am working on, I need to make sure that I am changing and growing each day as well, because there are people out there that depend on me to grow myself.
So in our circle of network, you're known as the queen of leadership, right? Because you're known to be able to lead teams and manage teams, and it's almost like an art form. Leadership is like an art form. It's a skill that if you really want to excel in business, I would say that it's something you really need to sort of embrace and learn, and also implement and execute. How important is it in today's marketplace to learn the skills of leadership and then to create other leaders and so on and so on?
So I'll just go back a step when you said, talking about leadership, being a leader. I think there is a lot of talk out there about, leaders are born and, I was a born leader, I was born this way, I was born to do this. Well, I think I'm going to call bullshit on that, because I don't think that is true. I think that leaders are made and developed, and it takes an incredible mindset and a dedicated attitude to be a leader and to develop into a leader. I think it's important. It's important. I think if you're a leader, you have an absolute obligation to be developing other leaders. So a leader it's not about you anymore. Being a leader it's not about you. It's about other people around you and developing others to be able to take your spot one day, because that's what's going to happen. And that's how you build high-performing teams. And if we're not building high-performing teams, we're not contributing to a high-performing environment. So it's critical. Yeah.
Marcus?
I think exactly what Jade said. I couldn't agree more with that, where it's not everyone's born for it, but you get thrown in a deep end, essentially, and you got to swim. If you don't, well, you drown. Number one, that's the most important, is that you will drown. So to then take, make sure that, let's call it, the team is behind you, and you're the mother duck. Like I said the other day, you're the mother duck. If you drown, well, the ducklings are going to drown as well. And it's, you take a lot of, you need to take a lot of mentorship as well, I find. You can't just be put in a role and just go, right, now lead a team, and you got to look around you and take a lot of, examples from mentors around you and go, oh, okay, that's how you probably do it. Oh, okay, I get that. I'm going to try that today with the team that I manage, or even just yourself. You might just be managing yourself, and sometimes it requires alone time to come up with some of the biggest decisions of your life, and you're your own leader at that point in time. You've got no one else to not even just worry about, but you've got no one else to help you either. So if you can overcome, making decisions on your own without all the noise around you, and then, start to take on board a team around you and stuff like that, I think it really is, it's a well-built, it's almost like a structural type of, if you could kind of imagine it as a building, essentially, the building has to start somewhere, and some of the best buildings in the world were not kind of just born to be there or something. People didn't think it was going to be there from day one. It was just like well, we've got this idea and we want to do this, and then we've got to worry about all these other elements around it and stuff like that. And then over time, things may change a little bit, just like a leader. Like attitudes change, and I guess personal. I think attitudes is probably a big one, actually. When your attitude changes,
everything changes.
Yeah. And then like as I said just a minute ago, if you're then able to control yourself and lead yourself through tough situations, leading a team is only going to get easier and easier. But getting thrown into the deep end, in my eyes, is the only way you're going to start learning. And that would have happened with you.
I think just leading on from that, what you just said, I think being a leader, it's a lonely road at times. You are it. You're the decision maker, and whilst I don't believe that every bad decision is the be all and end all, I think we need to make bad decisions in our career, in our experiences in life, in professional life. Yep. We need to come back from that and learn from that. That's the only way that we grow as leaders. But I spoke recently about in front of a group of women, and I talked about the growth mindset. Having a growth mindset and an entrepreneurial mindset where you're just solutions based at all times, because people are looking at you for solutions. Yep. Whilst you're developing them as leaders, you're putting the fires out, and you need to know how to do that. And sometimes you're not going to know how to do it, and it's almost, you just got to figure it out and throw yourself in the deep end
100%.
and start swimming. And the growth that you will experience will be of great significance, I think.
So one of the key differences that I think a lot of people who are listening today will be asking, okay, what's the difference between a boss and a leader, right? And I can answer this question because, I've dealt with plenty of bosses in my time, and I've dealt with plenty of good leaders in my time as well. And, a boss is someone who just barks orders, right? And just points the finger and tells you what to do and just orders you around, right? Where a leader will lead by example. He'll set the standard, and it doesn't matter whose responsibility is what. He'll just pick up the pieces and he'll just get the job done. So like Jade said, being solutions focused and concentrating on solving problems and showing others that's what you do, then others will follow. So, and that's a big thing right now because everyone wants to be a boss, you know what I mean? But this is what I say to bosses. I say to them, fuck you, you know what I mean? You're not even leading by example. You're just pointing and barking orders. And what happens is people resent those bosses. They don't want to work for those people. And, that's when theft occurs, if you've got a retail business, and if that's when, bad things happen within your business because people start to resent you. But if you lead by example and you show everyone that you're willing to put in the work and get your hands dirty as well, others will follow suit, and then they will start creating leaders underneath them as well. So I think that's a big one for our listeners, because a lot of people think, if you're a leader, you're a boss. In actual fact, they're two different things.
Very different.
So Jade, what are some of the things that you have done to create other leaders? So we've talked a little bit about how you have led a team and you've managed a team and all of that sort of thing, which is, we can go into depth with that in a little bit as well. But a big thing about being a leader is creating other leaders. So, creating other people that can mentor others. What are some of the things that you do to do that?
I think it starts with yourself, and I think what I have always, and I've taken this from experience, and I recently spoke at an event where I spoke about my past experiences and the absence of empowerment and, the things that I didn't get given when I was just starting out in my career, and that I vowed to give to others and give back to others. And the biggest thing is empowerment. So if you can empower your direct reports or people that report, that you're leading, it doesn't matter what business, what industry that you're in, empowerment is the biggest gift that you can pass down. And, allowing these people the space to make mistakes and to be able to make decisions that might not always be right. So providing an environment for them to succeed.
So don't micromanage.
Don't micromanage unless it's got to do with your money, of course. Yeah. I'm a big, if people, messing with money that's off the table completely. Yep. But
that's why you're so rich.
But allowing them to make those mistakes and teaching them along the way. They get frustrated. I always say to the people that I lead, it's going to be a frustrating path. But I want you to talk openly about those frustrations, because I will always provide a solution for them to move forward. And it's about building up resilience for them as well, because we're in an ever-changing environment, and if we don't change, we're not going to be successful. We might as well pack up and go and do something else for a living. So just empowering them and giving them the space and the capacity to make decisions for themselves, because I never got that. And I would have learnt a lot quicker if I had have done that.
Definitely.
So, Mark, what are some of the things that you've done